something else is going on.
Yes, and this is a major development happening out of Fort Bend County. The Office of Emergency Management just posting this on their Facebook page, and we want to get the information out to you. What was a voluntary evacuation order around the Barker Reservoir has now been ordered a mandatory evacuation for several subdivisions that surround the Barker Reservoir. Of course, it's forecasting a record pool elevation, basically meaning a record overflow out of the Barker Reservoir, and I'm going to list as many of these neighborhoods that I can. Once again, a mandatory evacuation happening now for these neighborhoods: Canyon Gate, all sections; Cinco Ranch, the following sections: Bayou Park Estates, Cinco Forest, Equestrian Village, Fountain View, Greenway Village, Institutional Core, South Park Meadow Place, North Lake Village, Plaza Subdivision, West Section 7, Willow Fork, Grand Lakes, all sections, Kellywood, these sections, Courts, Fairways, Greens, Links, Park, Point Terrace, Ricefield Village, and Willow Fork Greens, Section 1. They have a map posted on the Fort Bend County Office of Emergency Management. That's what you're seeing right there. If you didn't catch the neighborhood, if I'm going through it too quickly, and forgive me, I just wanted to get through the information because it is time for those people to leave their homes as quickly as they can immediately. Once again, a mandatory evacuation out in Fort Bend County, just west there of the Barker Reservoir, that's now experiencing a record overflow.
And this is something that we have been following for quite some time, simply because of the release of water from both the Addicts and Barker reservoirs, and officials have told us for a couple of days now that this was a possibility, and it looks like we have come to a critical point where they're now saying folks have to get out of those subdivisions. We're talking about perhaps 2,000 to 3,000 homes in that area that now have to start getting out of Fort Bend County because of the water situation there. So you can go to the Fort Bend County Office of Emergency Management website and you take a look at all of the subdivisions that are included. I don't know how many people are still there because we have been talking about getting out of there for some time. So, but if you are there tonight, you need to start packing up and get moving.
And Lynn, on that note, here's the situation with that. So obviously it's urgent, and people need to leave their homes because of this water, this flooding that's likely now imminent in those areas. But officials are also telling us in the same token that it is so dark outside and so dangerous that they're asking people not to leave their homes unless there is a clear and present danger at that moment, if they feel as though their life is threatened. So while the evacuation order has been upgraded to mandatory in this area, they're concerned about people getting out at night and running into this, because this actually is just there in the Canyon Gate area, just north of the West Park Tollway. This is south of Fry Road on Mason Road. And so once again, several neighborhoods impacted here, a mandatory evacuation. But once again, officials reminding us that because it is nighttime, it's so dark out there that it is going to be too dangerous to leave. So likely what the best thing to do right now is to gather your bags, gather your belongings, and be ready to go at first daylight unless your life is being threatened.
Yeah, so they've got a caveat there. They obviously want to warn people that it is a mandatory evacuation for all of these subdivisions. However, unless it's life-threatening, then stay tight, stay put until daylight. So how many are life-threatening, we don't know. But certainly I'm sure rescue officials are on standby, headed to the area. They're probably already there. And those who need to get out tonight, along with this evacuation order, they will help and get them out. If not, if it's not life-threatening, as Mia just said, then you sit tight. So we've got clarification on this mandatory evacuation.
That's right. And once again, that map is posted on the Fort Bend County Office of Emergency Management